Virgil van Dijk is the most complete defender of our generation. And this is what most people say. And by most people, I mean either Liverpool fans or either Sergio Ramos haters. But I somewhat agree with them, and it is a reality, or it is eminence that Virgil van Dijk is one of the greatest defenders of our generation, let alone of all time. Alright. But him getting nominated for the Ballon d'Or solely on the basis of his Premier League win, or as most people are saying that he got nominated for this year's Ballon d'Or because of him winning the Premier League with Liverpool, and that's it really, as they say. But I'm here to break it down to you so that you may not have any, doubts in your mind that why is he here on the Ballon d'Or nominees list. Well, starting with the most obvious one and the most listened to factor, the stats. 5 goals, 1 assist. We don't care about the goals or the assists at all because he's a defender, a centre back, and they are not, their job is not to score goals. At least this is what we can say for other players except Gabriel from Arsenal, the centre back one, and he did these 6 GA in 55 matches, so yep, that is a good one. And he conceded 49 goals, just 49 goals in 55 matches, with keeping 22 clean sheets throughout the season, which is obviously a really good stat. And this goes on to say that how good of a defender he is. And in the Premier League, he kept 38% clean sheet. This means that almost, I don't know, you guys do the math and tell me how much matches on average he did not concede a goal in. I think it's about 10 or 12 or 13. I don't know exactly, but do tell me in the comments section down below. And he averaged 76.2 passes per 90 in the Premier League. This means that he is a top passer as well. Well, this is what we expect from most of the centre backs. Well, because they are the ones who build from the back and give it to the midfielder, someone who could drive the ball forward, or the full backs, and then the chance is created, and eventually if the goal comes by, I think most of the credit obviously goes to the attacker who scored the goal, but also the one who started the play, and that is the defender, and Virgil van Dijk is exactly that kind of defender. Alright, so he won 35 tackles, 47 interceptions, and won 155 out of 230 ground duels, which is a good average because he is a little old now relatively, but his consistency is still on peak, man. And I know that he still has 2 more years in him at the very top level. After that he can go to Saudi and get the bag, I guess. Maybe that's what most people do nowadays. What a time we live in. Alright, and he is an aerial beast, as I've told you earlier, that he is a tall man. And that is the reason he was able to win 105 aerial duels. Tall man, tall centre back, and he doesn't win duels. Well, Dean Howson is also one of them. And I think, except for the distribution part, Dean Howson, maybe even he's a little less on physicality, but he is, a tall centre back. The one who will win the ground duels for you as well, and will be there making blocks and interceptions. In that sense, he's kind of similar to Virgil van Dijk, but not in the distribution and passing and everything else, you could say. And then he was dribbled past in the Premier League only 9 times. And this is still a lot for Virgil van Dijk, because I remember that there was a stat that Virgil van Dijk has been dribbled past only 4 times in his career before the season, but I know obviously that is a false stat. If it is true, then do tell me in the comment section below, but I don't believe that it is true because it seems so much impossible. But 9 dribbled past, this is good for a defender. but for Virgil van Dijk it's still, a little less. And then he made 177 clearances, he blocked 16 shots, and out of his attempted 2,743 passes, he completed 2,517 of them. You might be saying that most of the passes are back passes or side passes to the other defender. Well, that's the reason why the centre backs have so many passes, alright? Dumb. And he kept a passing accuracy of 91.76. I think it should have been a little better, considering that he is centre back and most of his passes should be on target, because if they aren't, Liverpool might have been in big trouble, but fortunately that didn't happen that much. And he created 12 chances, very good for a defender. Maybe most of them were long balls or from the corners heading it to another player who headed it in. Well, this is not Arsenal we're talking about, so that's not a strategy on our slots list. But now I have just outlined these stats for you guys, and you might have gotten the idea that this man is so good, and you might be thinking that how consistent he is, because he has been doing it for the past 6 years from 2019 onwards for Liverpool, and that is the reason of their somewhat success. And you could say maybe in in the last years of Klopp it was a little down on the downside, but still Virgil van Dijk is still going strong, and that is mostly shown from his key performances. And coming to that, his Champions League goal versus AC Milan, in which he completed 65 passes, which was the most in that match, versus Crystal Palace, the first one, not the one in which they won the Premier League, he completed 101 passes and won 9 duels, which was the most amongst all players. And versus Arsenal, he scored a goal in the 2-2 draw match, I think, and completed 73 passes, again most, and won 5 aerial duels. That is a lot, but considering his stature, it's nothing. And then versus Ipswich Town, his absolute masterclass, he completed 132 passes with a passing accuracy of 97%. My God, these stats tell you how good of a defender he is. The one who could just side pass. And then versus Crystal Palace, in the match that they officially lifted the Premier League trophy, the last match of the Premier League 24-25 season, I think it was that one. But Crystal Palace versus Crystal Palace, 101 passes and 11 duels, won most in that match, and the passes also the most. Now, considering the key performances as well, you might be saying not that much goals and not so much big performances on big events. But these are the performances that I thought were best amongst very good performances. And what I mean by that is that he has been good throughout the season, but it is difficult to, point out some of his best performances. So I went to FOTMob and just took out the matches in which his rating was the best. So thank you, FOTMob. Alright, coming to the absolute prediction, that is he a deserved Ballon D'Or nominee, or is he a deserved Ballon d'Or candidate or not, and where will he finish in the Ballon d'Or ranking? Virgil van Dijk, I think he got nominated last year as well. If so, then yeah, this is because of his consistency, I guess. But still, Virgil van Dijk, brilliant defender, and he was a crucial part alongside Ibrahima Konate to Liverpool's Premier League success this season. And what else can I say? He is probably the best defender in the Premier League right now. You could say Saliba or Konate, his partner, but Konate is leaving for Madrid, and we all know that. Not this season, but maybe in the next one. So yeah, he is a deserved Ballon d'Or candidate, by the way, because as a team wins the best league in the world, I'm talking about Liverpool. This is because of individual brilliances as well and team performances as well. And Virgil van Dijk is in both the categories, and that's the reason he got nominated for the Ballon d'Or. As for where will he finish in the final ranking, I don't think he will finish that high, not high as other players like Mo Salah, even Alexis McAllister. But he will finish high, maybe in the top 20. That is my prediction, because let's be honest, the Ballon d'Or in France football doesn't show that much love to the defenders. So yeah, that was my prediction, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, and until then, adios.